Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Skyhawk Update. I'm Craig Riotto, joined at the desk by our newest addition to the broadcast team. We got another one, Pat Bergabo, making his audition.
It's great to finally be out from behind the camera, being in front of it for once. It's a strange experience, but, I like it. I'm looking forward to it.
And on short notice, he was here for us. We have some great highlights lined up for you all this week as both men's and women's basketball saw Northeast 10 action. The women looked to continue their unbeaten season, and the men attempted to defend their Final Four appearance of last season.
The ice hockey team came up against a tough opponent in Western New England, while indoor track and field has finally begun, with the Skyhawks bringing some purple fever to the UMass Boston Indoor Invitational. It's been a busy week as always, so Craig, take us away, Winnable.
Skyhawks hoops trekked to UMass Lowell last Wednesday for a clash against the Riverhawks. It was a pivotal conference matchup for both squads as the women looked to continue their perfect season, and the men hope to keep themselves from falling to a losing Northeast 10 record for the first time since 2006. Let's roll the tape and see what happened. Stonehill on the road in their purple uniforms, UMass Lowell wearing the whites, and we pick this one up late in the second half. With Stonehill trailing by 5:51 to play, and UMass Lowell is going to pick up a pair of free throws here and go up by 2. But Stonehill would respond. Free throws were key down the stretch as ML Dixon picks up an on-the-ball foul. She would go to the line and shoot 2, and she would net both of her free throws. ML Dixon, ice in her veins there on the free throw line, and here the Skyhawks looking to close it out. Asia Ewing left wide open at the top of the key. You simply cannot do that. She will make you pay, and she does. A huge 3-ball for the Skyhawks just as time was expiring there, puts them up by 5, and UMass Lowell would be unable to come back from that one. Stonehill takes the victory on the road, 82-75. Look at these games. Ewing going for 21 points, 10 rebounds, massive double-double. Pelletier, 18 points as well. The three-point shooting was there for the Skyhawks in the second half. On the other side, Bianca Simmons, though, with 28. Very impressive mark. UMass Lowell going to be a dangerous team down the stretch. Now we jump to the men's game. Mitch Emilio and Josh Hayliger getting some warm-ups in before they take on the Riverhawks, and Akeem Williams. There he is, the very highly touted player from UMass Lowell. Stonehill on their opening possession, nowhere to go with it. A shot clock violation. And that is not a good start. And the woes would continue in the first half. May-Thompson misses bad there from 3. UMass Lowell in transition. Look at how quick Akeem Williams is there, making his presence felt early. Stonehill seeking answers here. Only 1 point through the first 7.5 minutes. May-Thompson swatted that time under the hoop, and UMass Lowell in transition again. Here they're going to look for a 3-ball. Stonehill going to try to clean up that rebound, but Matt Welsh more physical. UMass Lowell just wanting this one more early on. Puts them up big, and the coaches are just perplexed. Stonehill did not get a field goal for the first 17 minutes of the game. That was one of Brian Hamer's first field goals from the floor. He was held in check for most of the game. Stonehill was able to mount somewhat of a comeback and make it respectable. They lose this one by 20 points on the road. UMass Lowell improves to 4-1, 2-1 in conference play. Stonehill falls to 1-2. And it was just one of those nights for the Skyhawks. They simply could not get anything going as they shoot under 30% in both three-point shooting and from the field.
Both the men's and women's indoor track and field teams opened their seasons with the UMass Boston Indoor Invitational, and there were a number of qualification times to be had. We go to the tape and we see 3 Stonehill athletes heading towards the finish line in the 60-meter hurdles final. Corey Thomas would finish first with a time of 8.34 seconds, while Xavier Harris-Dixon would finish second, and freshman Dante Bissell would finish 8th. We go to the high jump, and here we see Corey Thomas with one of his long strides clearing the pole, and both he and Nick Staley shared the honors as both cleared the 6-foot barrier to qualify for the NCAA D2 championships in March. We go to the mile run, and junior Chris Dooley finished in first place with a time of 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Go to the women's 60-meter hurdles this time, and they make a clean sweep of the podium places with Katie Polakowski finishing first, Jeana Esernio finishing second, and Lauren Hanlon taking up 3rd place. And we go to the women's long jump straight after this. where Angelina Comey finished 14th with a jump of 14 feet 650 inches, but she also came in second in the triple jump with a jump of 34 feet and 950 inches.
It's out there. It's the first time we've had him on the show, and we have some serious athletes out there making runs for Stonehill.
Absolutely. That video clip of the hurdles is seeing those extremely powerful athletes just running straight at the camera. You know, it's almost a scary thing to see, but it's definitely really, really cool.
And you got to love Corey Thomas's little routine there, warming up for that high jump as well. Pretty funny stuff. More basketball to take care of. We are going to jump back to the hardwood, and this time it's going to be inside Merkert Gymnasium. Stonehill taking on St. Michael's College, men and women with a doubleheader here. And the women got going early there with a 3-ball from Amy Pelletier. Quick shot. St. Mike's, though, they didn't have a great record, but they are sticking around as Alexa Long converts from the block. 23-all. We go to the second half. Tori Faeda decides to pass up the post move. She kicks out to Jamie Panton, and Panton sticks a 3-ball. That would put Stonehill on a nice run, and they would not look back from there, although St. Michael's stuck around. There, ML Dixon hits a 3, and here's another one. ML Dixon was just on fire with the big shots coming down the stretch, but St. Michael's, they were hanging in there tough. That's Megan Gaudreau with a long 3, making it a 3-point game with 1:26 left. But here she is again. ML Dixon driving hard to the hoop. She would get herself to the free throw line. Dixon made 10 of 10 free throws. Talk about a 88.9% free throw shooter on the season. She is getting it done at the stripe and really helping Stonehill down the stretch as they close out games. Skyhawks go on to win 56-50. They improve to 7-0, 4-0 in conference play. A phenomenal start here. Now we take it to the men, second part of the doubleheader, taking on the Purple Knights at home as well. We go to the first quarter. Sam Markle, no look pass to Jack Cole. How about that to get things going? Big dunk inside for the big man. St. Mike's, a very feisty squad though, tied up right before the half. The clock expiring, and Crawford rises and strikes for 3. St. Michael's would take a 25-22 lead into the half. And a little bit of a shock here for the Skyhawks, but they would battle back. Here's Carter Smith penetrating in, now pulling back out and sticking a 3-ball. That's a huge shot for the freshman. It would lead to a 10-0 run for the Skyhawks, capped by this. Mitch Emilio drives in. Raheem May-Thompson cleans it up, and there's that jump hook that we love so much. He gets that one to fall for him. Stonehill would take a 3-point lead with that, but St. Mike's hanging around as Holton Jr. makes back-to-back free throws to tie things up at 44. Just over 2 minutes left, and Stonehill would find Brian Hamer for his first field goal of the game. It's a 3-ball. That puts Stonehill up 49-44. It was a big shot, and St. Mike's would be unable to come back from that deficit. Stonehill, it wasn't pretty, but they take care of business at home. So you can see the relief on the face of Hamer as he comes off the court. The Skyhawks men struggle to shoot in this one, only 33%, both from the field and from beyond the arc. And that shooting is going to have to get a lot better as teams are really crashing inside and making it tough on Stonehill's big men, particularly Jack Cole, to score points. Notice here, Cole gets 11 rebounds, typical for the big men, but only 4 points. Fazzini led all scorers in that contest with 14, including 3 rebounds.
A rocky start to the season for the Skyhawks ice hockey team hadn't upset the spirits of the squad as they looked to turn their campaign around against Western New England in a rescheduled non-conference game at the Foxboro Sports Center. We will join up in the game early in the second period with Stonehill leading by 1, but Western New England would pile on the pressure constantly in the second period. And after finding a way through after Taziopoulos makes a good save, the puck would eventually trickle over the line to make the score 1-1. It'd be John Kelly with the goal and Andrew Kramer with the assist. Here Western New England had a 5-on-3 power play going, and Stonehill just about survived, but they were living dangerously all game with these power plays. Here we see Daniel Graham find his way around the back of the net and try to force the puck in, but it would be denied by Tim Carr in the Western New England goal. Stonehill would finally claw a goal back with a quick wrister from Robbie Dorgan, but it would be too little too late for Stonehill. Even though it was a nice moment, it'd be nice to be able to put some respectability to the scoreline, they still went down 4-2. And here you can see Stonehill was actually ahead in the first period, but then got absolutely pummeled in the second with 3 unanswered goals. And the third period went all square, but with a second period like that, it's never going to look good for Stonehill.
Yeah, Stonehill fell behind big at home in that second period, and it was really unfortunate. 2 out of those 3 goals in particular were kind of lucky bounces for Western New England University, and it really just created a deficit that Stonehill couldn't claw back from. Got to give credit, though, to the goalie there. Carr turned out a great game. Yeah,
and as you see, the shots on goal were relatively even, but Stonehill just has to be more clinical with these opportunities they're getting.
Well, that's all we have for you on this week's episode of Skyhawk Update. It's been a pleasure bringing this to you. Also, I want to give thank you to Pat here for jumping in on such short notice. Pat did a great job with the highlights. It's good to see Stonehill get a couple of big wins there as well on the hardwood.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially in track and field, it's a great way to open the season with so many first and second place finishes.
Track and field, they can really rack them up.
Absolutely.
They do work in the winter and the spring. Well, folks, that's it for tonight's episode. I want to thank you for watching, and just remind you can search us on YouTube by searching Skyhawk Update. Also follow us on Twitter at Skyhawk Update. For Craig Riotto and Pat Bergabo, signing off, and of course, go Skyhawks!